Having a close core of players return and a large amount of players has made it easy for the coaches. We got right into neutral zone, D zone, breakout, stuff like that from the get-go here, so it definitely helped us progress through the preseason pretty quickly.
Just having a big group of seniors, I think, is just all about experience. So having that experience with all those big games right in the first month of the season is going to be huge because we have guys that have been there and also guys that are ready to step up for bigger roles. So I think that's really going to help us out having a big senior class.
To replace Colin, we brought in a lot of freshmen this year. We only lost one player, and I think we have 7 freshmen coming in. So hoping a lot of them can make impacts. We got a freshman on the first line, second or third line, and a few filling out the roster. So the freshmen are looking to make an impact this year, which is exciting. And we got a lot of older guys, a lot more seniors this year than we had last year, so they should be able to make an impact and perform on the ice too.
So far, Jeff Skinner's looked good. Roach has looked pretty well himself. Harrington on defense has really been challenging us 5 senior defensemen to kind of, not where their job's not safe. So those 3 have looked pretty good.
Jeff Skinner's done a pretty good job on the front end, burying pucks, making plays. Garrison Stanopass looks much improved. I think he had a great summer, so I'm looking for him to do big things this year.
A lot of standouts this year. It's going to be a lot deeper roster. I think the red line has been pretty solid. That's Skinner. Right now it has Gary, and I think Dan is on that line too. So they've been pretty solid this preseason and look pretty good. So I think we're just going to have a lot more depth. I don't think it's going to come from any one guy really having a standout year, but really working as a team.
Honestly, that's probably the toughest job the coaching staff has right now, trying to decide the 6D that are going to play because it's so competitive and there's 8D that can play on any given night. So I would say Pat Harrington's done pretty well this preseason. He looks good, and he's going to make it tough on the coaching staff to put the lineup together.
So far, the goalies, they look good. The returners obviously looking good as they did last year, but Aggie's come in. He's giving us some competition for those guys, kind of pushing them to get better.
To make the transition for Peter's pretty easy. We just sort of play like we did last year. We move the puck a lot, make quick plays, see open ice. And so it's pretty easy, I think, for any guy to fill in that spot. Tried a few, and he's been a pretty good fit, so hopefully it's a good start to the year and have a pretty successful season.
After Saturday's game, I would say that we kind of established that we can score, but as you said, we let up a little too many goals, so we'd have to just tighten up the D because I think the defense is going to be our strong point this year.
Just trying to get guys in the mindset of burying loose pucks, burying dirty goals, getting the puck in the net however they need to, and developing habits of just finishing anytime they get a chance. That's probably the biggest focus we've had so far this year.
It was really on conditioning and weight room more than it was kind of based on just the skates this year. I think Gabe really put us through some hard workouts, obviously up there with Jeff. And we also did some conditioning out here on the ice, which was nice. It was a little different change up from what we usually have done.
We had a really good power play last year, and I think we can carry that into this year. We still have 4 guys from that first unit who are back on the power play. Our second unit has unfortunately looked better than our first unit in a lot of these practices, so we're hoping that changes pretty quick. But we've been moving the puck a lot, and yesterday we were a lot better on it, and I think we're going to be working on it again pretty much every day until the season starts. So we should have a really high-functioning unit, score a lot of goals on the power play again.
I think that's been on the front of our minds since we were freshmen. At the end of that year, we're like, wow, we really want to get back here. So I think that has been the theme all off season. We've kind of always been talking about it, and that's the goal. I mean, the ultimate goal is to finish the season with a win, so it's definitely what we're trying to do here.
The goals are win the division, and then from there on, we'd like to win the national championship.